Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I'm finally getting around to finishing, or not finishing, because this is part 4 of my career story. Here, if you want to check out the previous versions, the previous episode when I first started this off, you can check them out here. Basically, I'm going to be telling you my story. I'm picking up for where we left off in part 3, where after I got hired by Hewlett-Packard in Boise, what happened, and I promised I would tell what happened with that. A lot of you have been asking for this. I've been surprised about how much the positive response I've gotten from telling the story. So I will continue this story as long as everyone wants to hear it. So that's what I'm hearing. So anyway, so what happened? I think when I left off, I talked about how I was basically at HP. And I was very argumentative and combative. Like I was learning a lot of stuff, but I just very much, if someone wasn't doing things the right way or what I perceived as the right way, I had to really beat them up about it and push my point. But I also had a lot of other problems. So, I wasn't quite as mature as I am now, really. but anyway, I did not quite have the soft skills that I teach now. It's kind of funny that I teach soft skills now because I essentially did not have them. But I also lacked a lot of discipline and a lot of control. So basically, at this point, I was sort of thinking about. I was doing a lot of real estate investing. Obviously, if you're interested, I've obviously got my videos on real estate investing. I've been doing that for a long time, but I had this friend that I had met about the time, when I was at HP, named Gabe, and he runs actually this site called ABU Games, which is Magic the Gathering website. So he sells Magic the Gathering cards online. I was playing like Magic the Gathering at that point, and I played some tournaments, and I met him through there. Anyway, I really liked the fact that he was selling things online. Thought that was cool, and that he wasn't working for someone else; he was working for himself. This is sort of my kind of first entrepreneurial type of, this would be cool to not have to work for someone else. But at the time, I didn't really want to work very hard, and I didn't quite have the right mindset. And I think it's important, to have that right mindset. But so I had the real estate involvement. I was doing that, and so what ended up happening was I ended up getting my real estate license, and then I also started talking with my friend Gabe, and we talked about setting up some kind of partnership. So he got his real estate license. We were both, I was teaching him how to invest in real estate, and the idea was that we'd sort of combine our businesses together. We'd do like real estate, we'd be our own real estate agents, and then we'd have his business, and I'd basically like earn my way. I'd help him increase his business. I thought I had this really hotshot notion that I was going to build him a new website and like magically double his business because it's so easy. He's got money coming in. Now I could triple his business, or quadruple it, knowing what I know now. But back then I had no shot at it. I thought just my technical abilities were, because I was so smart and knew so much about .NET and web development that I was going to, basically build this website that was going to just increase his business because the website was so good. So anyway, what ended up happening was basically we formed this sort of partnership, and I got a quick story here. So around this time, I was also reading a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. You can check this out here. And it's, a lot of people have problems with this book, but this book really helped me to open my mind to just think about the idea of like changing, the financial picture of what is an asset really and what's a liability. And so when I was doing this book, I was reading this book, I was like, man, what really is an asset besides your house, besides the rental properties, something that you buy that actually generates money. I don't have music or book royalties or anything, so what could I buy? And obviously it was gumball machines. So I bought gumball machines, right? So I found out how I could buy these candy machines, and I bought like 20 of these. I didn't just buy one and, test it out and see if I could build a business around this. At this time, I was sort of like trying to figure out ways to make money quickly to like, to really accelerate the, and I had no idea, I had no business sense, but these are the kind of mistakes they make. So anyway, I bought these 20 candy machines, went to Costco, bought all this candy. That was so much fun. And buying bags of candy at Costco and just like filling up these machines. There's just something just fun and rewarding about that. But anyway, I did that, and I basically, get paid for someone a locator. They locate the machine, so they go and they, basically find places where they can put the machines, and they come back and they tell you pay some kind of fee for them to go and do this. It was this just like total redneck guy that I should have went with him, but like I was busy, so he placed all these machines for me. And he gave me these business cards, told me where they're all at. Half the machines ended up, like, when I went to go collect the money from them, the owner was like, I didn't give you permission to put this here, so I had to pick them back up. A few of them ended up staying there, but it was not pretty, and it was not the best. It was cool. Some of the machines would be, like, empty, and they'd be filled with quarters, but this was not a good business idea. Not really. Like, at least not the way I was doing it. Like, if I was going to do this over again today, I'd start with one machine. I'd place it one at a time, make sure it's a profitable location. I'd, bring on another one, and I'd be rotating them out. But anyway, I don't want to go too far into that. I just want to give you kind of an idea. So what ended up happening, like all these threads are going to connect in a second here. So I'm at HP. I'm sort of, I finally got my dream job there, right? I'm this, architect basically on this .NET project, but I've now got this new idea with my friend that's running this online business selling magic cards. I've got my gumball machines, and I've got the real estate thing. And so, we decided to go in business together, like I said, and I'm going to quit my job at HP. Now, HP at this point was doing some layoffs, right? Or they did this really politically correct, like randomly selecting people, or or giving you this optional chance to, like, you could basically select to be laid off, and then you'd get a severance package. Well, I didn't do that. I just quit. So here I am. I quit. And this is right before they offer these severance packages. So I missed out on, like, $20K that they were going to pay out for if you did a voluntary layoff, which I basically should have done because I quit my job anyway. So I missed out on that. And then I joined my friend Gabe in his business, and we worked out some deal where the gumballs are going to be part of it, the gumball machines and stuff. And so anyway, what ended up happening was, I was not ready to really work very hard. And so I kind of wanted the fun part of like owning a business. So I wanted to, like, do the fun stuff, like packing magic cards and shipping them up, because that's fun, right? Or sorting magic cards, like all the kind of busy work that you really shouldn't be doing. And I was supposed to be designing this website. So I had these, UML diagrams, and I was just architecting up this whole thing. And there really wasn't really making very much progress on this, because part of it was that I was lazy, right? I was lazy. I did not know, the work ethic that I know now of how to work hard and actually get something done. And then part of it also was that I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had never built like a full website, from scratch. Like I probably had the capabilities, but I had never done it, so I didn't really know. I'd worked so much in the corporate environment at that point that I basically, like, my experience was basically fixing bugs or adding features, and I was used to that slow pace. I wasn't like thinking in the startup entrepreneur type of mentality. Instead, I was thinking in terms of going to meetings all day, kind of the corporate, like, you don't got to make money because someone's just paying your paycheck. Mentality, which is it's pretty common, right? So you're not really thinking about that you're actually wasting time. And again, not everyone operates that way, but it's really easy to get lulled into that. So I basically didn't do a lot, at least not a lot that was effective. And I was sitting there, and I think we were playing like online poker a lot of the time, and kind of goofing off and not really doing much. He had agreed to pay me like a $50K salary, I think, while so that I could have some money while we're doing this business venture. And that wasn't, it was definitely a pay cut for me. But it also, the other thing it did was, like, I didn't have any real skin in the game because I'm getting paid. It's not a huge amount of money, but it was enough to live off of. So I didn't really have that hunger. So it's like, I was trying for the shortcut. I didn't want to take the risk of being an entrepreneur. I wanted to like have the benefits of owning the business. I wanted to do the fun stuff in the business, and I didn't want to do the hard work, and I didn't want to take the responsibility, to be honest with you. And I hadn't learned, discipline and work ethic really at that point. Like I could do really good at a regular job when someone told me what to do, but I wasn't good at self-directing myself. So a lot of time was wasted. I would just, go over his house. He had like an office set up in the basement, and I would, do some busy work, and I'd fool around, and we didn't really accomplish very much at all. So that went on for, I don't know how long, maybe like a year or so, and then finally I got to this point where I was sick of making $50K because. I should get paid more than that, because I had this idea that my technical skills were so good, and they were good. I mean, I was good, but that should warrant me getting paid. Not, and again, in the professional world, right? There's some merit to that, right? You should be able to get paid what you're worth. But in the entrepreneurial type of world, it doesn't matter how good your skills are. It matters what you do, what actions you take. If you're trying to build a business, you're trying to make money, you can be really smart. You can have great technical skills and abilities, but what can you do with that? What are you actually going to do? What can you actually say? How are you actually going to get someone to pay you money for something? And that's what I hadn't figured out. So anyway, I got greedy, and I started applying I applied for this job at this company called Amfire at the time. This was a company, I think my wife had gotten a job there. She was working there, and they had, I think a developer position. It was like 80 or 90, it probably was $90,000 that they offered me. So I was like, wow, well, this is good. I should definitely take this job. And of course, the first thing that goes through my head is, well, can I keep both deals? Can I have my friend paying me the $50K or maybe half of that, and I still get the ownership in the company if we grow it, and I'll take this full-time job. I didn't want to commit to the entrepreneurial world. And by a phone call came in, and of course the iPhone camera cuts off when a phone call comes in. I don't understand that. Like, why would you want to stop recording video just because a phone call came in? Anyway, so I was saying that I basically was trying to double dip here, and again, not proud of this kind of stuff, but I'm telling you the truth. Like, I just did not have the kind of understanding of how business and everything works and the work ethic. I just wanted to make money. I just wanted to make it fast. I just wanted to do what I wanted and have fun and not pay the price for it. So, I actually got into this fight, this argument with my buddy here. Even today, it's kind of strained the relationship. We used to be really close friends, and we're not anymore, because I was basically being greedy. I was basically trying to get him to pay me money, give me this opportunity while I was taking this full-time job. What ended up happening was I ended up taking this full-time job at this company called Amfire, and yeah, so I ended up coming in as a web developer, working on the .NET stuff there, and we ended up severing the business relationship, but not before me sticking my friend with $20K worth of gumball machines. So we had to separate. We also had like this office space and stuff that we bought. So he ended up paying me like something like, I think $20,000, and he got to keep the gumball machines, and I kept the office space. Like, I was going to buy this office space that I rent out, which I still have the office space there that I rent out currently. But yeah, so that basically dissolved and blew up, and it did not go really well. I mean, it wasn't, and it was my fault. Honestly, I was a dick, really. I was pretty selfish and greedy, and I did not understand business very well. He spent a lot of time there, and this was a great opportunity, by the way. I don't want to, had I been smart enough to actually work this opportunity properly, or even have the experience or education to be able to do this, I could have made a lot of money. I could have built a really good business, could have had, grown that business and stuff, but I wasn't there in my life. It was, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. I mean, this wasn't my first screw up as an entrepreneur and being selfish and greedy and dumb and immature, because there's another one coming up here, the second time I tried to quit my job and go totally out on my own. But yeah, this was an opportunity that was kind of one of those golden opportunities. We all get a lot of these. Like, you don't even recognize it until hindsight, right? You see how good the opportunity could have been, is the ones that you missed. So anyway, I ended up started working for this company, Amfire, and it was a very interesting place to work. I actually wasn't there for very long. I ended up taking another job. I got recruited over there from some of the devs that had worked there. So this company was like in the food services industry. They did like brokering. They used a lot of BizTalk, and they basically integrated between different producers and that sold foods and distributed to restaurants, like distributors and suppliers, and they were sort of the in between. So it was a really good business model. In fact, I think they got bought out multiple times and made a lot of money. But yeah, I came in there and started doing some web development there, and the company was like the developer manager I had there. His name was Mark. He was really good. He was a really nice guy, really good guy. But the rest of the management was kind of really, I want to say, like militaristic. Like they're they weren't very friendly, and it wasn't the best environment to be in. But I did a lot of .NET stuff there, kind of improve my skills. I wasn't there for very long because what ended up happening was that one of the developers there, or actually the dev manager, went over to this other company called M2M Communications, and then he sort of poached the other developers. So another friend of mine that was working there, Mark, he got picked up by this M2M Communications, this little tiny startup that was doing, and then I'll talk about this. I'm probably going to end this video here, but I'll talk about what happened there. But he basically got hired, recruited the best people. So he recruited this other Mark over there, and then pretty soon both of them were asking me to come over, and I ended up coming over to M2M. And that was a really good company, really good owner. That was a serial entrepreneur. And I'll tell you in the next episode about how I totally screwed that job up and tried to become an entrepreneur again and screwed that up big time, before going into doing some more consulting and contracting. And along the way too, I don't want to give like the false impression. I was learning a lot technically. Right, I was becoming good technically. I was developing my technical skills, being put into all these kind of different environments and stuff, which was good. I just was not developing my soft skills so much. Right, it was sort of starting to come together, but not very much at all. So anyway, hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. If you like these videos, if you want to see the next episode where I will talk about M2M Communications and how I lost out on basically making $1 million when that company sold, and then also took another entrepreneurial position where I screwed it up because I was lazy. Let me know. Leave a comment below and say, hey John, I want to see part 5 of this story, and I will deliver and give a thumbs up here. So if you like this channel, if you want to hear more of the story, subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.